So it's spring here in Indiana, and as always, I like to make at least one, if not multiple, either bird feeders or bird houses. And this year I made a butterfly house, and it's something that I made one of these a few years ago, and it turned out pretty good. It's sort of fell apart since then. I think this one will actually hold up a little bit better. My slots need a little improvement, as you can tell, but I don't think the butterflies will care too much. It's a really simple project, and I got the plan from a book called Easy to Build Bird Houses. It's a book by A.J. Hamler, and I really like A.J.'s books. If you haven't checked any of his stuff out, I definitely recommend it, and I'll put a link to this one out on my website out at woodlogger.com. He's a great author. He's really good at making things simple and straightforward, and especially if you're newer to woodworking, you'll appreciate the way he writes stuff. And if you've been around for a while, it's kind of nice too, just to get a simple plan and kind of knock something out in an hour or two. So anyways, coming up in the video, I'll show you how I made this. And if you haven't clicked subscribe yet on YouTube, be sure to do that so that you keep up to date on all the latest videos I have out there. So to get started on my butterfly house, I'm going to stay pretty close to the plan on this one. And the plan that I'm following calls for a 1/2 inch thick pine board. The front and back of the house are to be cut at a length of 15 inches. 5.5 inches wide. The sides of the house are 15 inches long as well, but the width is about 3.5 inches wide. So I'm going to use my table saw to cut all that down. You could certainly use a miter saw or even a hand saw if that's all you had. I'm going to work on that next. So I have all my boards cut out now. I'm going to work on the front of the home. Again, I'm sticking pretty close to the plan that I have, but certainly feel free to make this your own. And the plan that I'm following calls for 5 different slots to be trimmed out on the front of the home. I'll use a 1/2 inch drill bit to start at the beginning of one slot. I'll drill it out on the other end, and then I'll use a jigsaw to cut out the remaining pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that next. Next, I'm going to attach the branches to the inside of the butterfly house. This gives the butterfly something to hold on to while they're inside. And before I do that, though, I'm actually going to cut this in half on my bandsaw. It'll make the sticks flat on one side, which will make it a little bit easier to attach on the inside. You don't have to cut this in half. You could just certainly drive a brad nail or some other way of attaching that, maybe a staple. Just so that it's attached and it's firm and it gives them something to grab onto. So I'm going to work on that next. I've got my sticks attached to the side of my house. Next up, I'm going to attach the side of the house to the back and to the front, and that will complete my box. I'm going to use an exterior rated wood glue and brads to hold this all together. You certainly don't have to use brads. You could use screws if you like, whatever it takes just to kind of hold it all together. After that, I'll attach the top of the house and the bottom of the house, and I should be done. So I'm going to work on that next. Hey guys, well here it is. I just finished this up. I put a screw in the top for the lid. The plan that I followed recommended that so that you could easily clean it out. I think this turned out pretty well. Some of my slots that I have here, my jigsaw work needs a little improvement, but you know, I don't think the butterflies will care too much. I think the last step is really just painting this, and I'm probably going to paint it probably something colorful, maybe a yellow, not sure yet. So anyways, check out my website at woodlogger.com, where I will post more detailed pictures about this project and other projects I have going on in my shop.